Hi everyone, it's Michael. So I'm going to start a new series which may seem a little negative, and I'm going to call that series In Loving Memory. And basically, it's going to be a snapshot of the orchids that have died in my care and exactly how we arrived at that point. Now, I think it's so important to do this because I want to be fully transparent with you guys, and I never want to cultivate the impression that I am a perfect orchid grower or that I know exactly what I'm doing because it is a part of being an orchid grower that you are going to kill things in your care. I've killed them in the past. I just killed a couple, and I'm sure I'm going to kill some in the future accidentally. But the trick is to not be disheartened, to take the learning lesson for what it is, and to have an open exchange of information with other people and other orchid growers who can kind of, I don't want to say nudge you in the right direction, but who can share their knowledge and their experiences in the hopes that you won't make the same mistakes that they have. So let's jump in with the two orchids that have recently passed in my care and hope that the next installment of the series does not come for a while.
Quick update on this little guy here. I am going to throw him away, which makes me so sad. He was recovering. These were the two new leaves that were growing before I burnt all of the new root growth with Phizan 20 solution. The smell of rot is pronounced, and there is nothing good going on here. I just don't think this plant is going to recover, and it breaks my heart in half, but it is just time to say goodbye. All right, you guys. I sadly have another orchid death to report. Big Papa, my big white phalaenopsis, is kaputs. He is just gone. And I can tell because he dropped this leaf. And I have to show you the strangest thing. The environment that's cultivated in here was too humid. And I can tell because look how saturated this is. All of those little dots here are from me just touching it. Because look what happens. Isn't that just the strangest thing you've ever seen? It is just so over damp and so oversaturated. So that taught me something really important. And the odd thing is this one really didn't care for it, but the other two that are in here are really enjoying it. Even though this little Phalaenopsis, which drives me absolutely insane because it has done nothing for so long, it's just starting to put out a new leaf, even though it is not putting out any new roots, and there's still mold accumulating towards the base. It's the strangest thing. I don't understand what's happening with this one. But this is seeming to enjoy what's going on inside. And my path seems to be doing pretty well, actually. It's putting out, you can see, a new growth right there in the center. So I don't know why these ones love it so much. But that being said, I do believe that the lesson here is that I need to tone down the humidity level inside. So I'm going to scrap the cups full of water and just trust that the liquid inside of the containers, the semi-hydroponic containers, will be enough to hydrate the plants. It just occurred to me that I forgot to discuss the biggest takeaway from the two orchid deaths that I just showed you, in addition to the three orchid deaths that unfolded for me before I ever started this channel. And that is that there is a common factor between the losses that I have endured. And that is all of the plants that I've lost were repotted into bark medium before I made the decision to repot again into semi-hydroponics. Now, what does that tell us? It tells us that the stress incurred by your plants in the process of being repotted and or converting growing methods is compounded when it is done more than once. So, ideally, if you're going to make a change for your plant, whether that is a repot or whether that is changing the entire system, make a swift and definitive decision and commit fully to it. Because asking your plants to adapt to a new system twice over only compounds the stress that they feel and increases the likelihood of their death. Now, I know you might be wondering, didn't you accidentally over Phizan that one plant? And you're absolutely right, I did. But that plant had nubs for roots to begin with because I converted it to a bark medium, and it struggled really, really badly. And I thought, okay, well, this will be the thing that saves it. And I was mistaken. It was already too far gone, and it was so sensitive, and that plant was already so weak and damaged that being burned by Phizan sealed its fate. Some of the other ones that I burned in that video that I made, and I will post it below in case you haven't seen it. Some of the ones that I burned are actually doing fantastically well now. I'm so surprised at how resilient they were, but that is because they were not converted more than one time. They were converted once, and they invested all their energy in adapting to that system once. So I hope that makes sense. I hope you find that helpful. And as pessimistic as it may seem, I know that this how I killed my orchid
is going to be a continued series on my channel because it's a reality of being an orchid grower. The hardest learned lessons are the ones that are going to be the most formative and impactful, and making sure you don't make the same mistakes. So, yeah, and don't be embarrassed by it. Like, I mean, this sucks. Like, I'm not thrilled that I just lost 2 orchids, but I do want to be fully transparent with you guys about what's happening so you understand successful orchid growers aren't just these magical beings that have a green thumb who are, flawless. They caused some damage and they lost some plants and they made some foolish choices that have really shaped them up into the orchid growers that they are. So I hope you find this helpful. As always, I invite you guys to comment with any questions or concerns you might have, any experiences you want to share. Be sure to like and subscribe. And thank you so much for spending your time with me. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your evening, friends. Bye-bye.